we've talked about the prolific quarterback and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, gotten some tidbits from Sam on this offensive line, but we'd be remiss, Sam, if we didn't talk about that amazing duo in the backfield, Zach Charbonnet, the Michigan transfer, and Britton Brown. Probably the best 1-2 punch in the Pac-12, maybe in the country. I mean, they just have UCLA's offense humming. So what can you tell me about those two and, what Oregon really has in store preparing for the UCLA rushing attack?
Yeah, I think the most difficult thing with these two guys, with Charbonnet and Brown, is just how, and it almost sounds like a negative, but how interchangeable they are, because they're both very similar guys. And when it comes to their play style, they're both pretty similar. So I think that makes it tough on defenses to kind of see like, oh, Charbonnet's coming in, they're gonna pass. Brown's coming in, they're gonna run. You don't really know. So that's something that makes it hard on opposing defenses, because you don't really know why one guy's coming in over the other. We try to get stuff out of Chip Kelly at practice media availability, but he just keeps harping on how similar they are and how that is very much a pro for how they call the offense. So both of them are both tough physical backs, good at finding holes, good at shaking off tacklers. So Charbonnet has almost 700 yards. Brown's around 470. That's through 7 games. And as a team, UCLA is rushing for about 230 yards a game. So it's definitely a dangerous ground attack. The offensive line plays a big part in that, but having a dynamic running quarterback who can run different types of options, whether it's read option, RPO, triple option, whatever it is, and then you have 2 running backs who can, I don't want to say they can do it all, but they can kind of come in and out wherever it is. It's 3rd and long, it's 4th and inches, it's on the goal line, whatever it is. They're both pretty good running backs. I feel like everyone who's watched them would be able to tell that. So having all of those weapons on the ground for UCLA has really been the key for them so far this year.
I could definitely see it giving Tim DeRuyter some fits with how interchangeable they are, not really knowing, okay, maybe they're in this situation when they could favor Charbonnet or Brown. But what really surprises me, Sam, I knew a little bit about Charbonnet coming out of college, right? Or high school, I should say. I know he was a pretty big name out in the Southern California area where you're at, your neck of the woods. But my question for you is, you go to a big time school like Michigan, which I feel like is known for having, a pretty, run heavy offense. What do you think has made it, so that Charbonnet can have such a successful season so far at UCLA?
I think it's interesting because you talk about his time at Michigan, and he was great as a freshman. Sophomore year, kind of dinged up, lost snaps, came back home to Southern California like you were talking about. And I think he just really meshed with what this team needed when it comes to the style of back. Because the past couple of years, UCLA's had a bunch of good running backs. So it's Joshua Kelly, Demetric Felton, Britton Brown kind of appearing a little bit towards the end of last season, like he could be the next guy. And Britton Brown had over 200 rushing yards in the season finale against Stanford last year. So you could tell that the way this offensive line was built, bringing everyone back, it was going to work well with that type of runner. And then you bring in another guy, so you have Brown and Charbonnet, who are both fit the way that Kelly runs the offense now, fit right next to a mobile quarterback and fit with each other. I think that really set up Charbonnet to kind of take that leap, and he has. I mean, maybe he hasn't been as efficient as he was against Hawaii and LSU to start the year when he was averaging 13 yards a carry, but I mean, he was putting up stupid video game numbers, but now he's coming back down to earth. And the funny thing is that down to earth is back-to-back 100-yard games for him.